good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to another ALTTPR League Season 3 Invitational League game for Spoiler Log Tournament this week. This is going to be an extremely exciting match. We have team the 2019 Titans was of 2019 facing off versus Komodo Hypers. We have SailorNep racing off against Furaime, being piloted by Edium and Kyung on their respective sides. My name is Claire Mouse. I'm joined today by Bandman25. Bandman, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. This was a nice fall day for me, and now here I am in this wonderful, calm, breezy evening, and I get to watch an exciting randomizer match here in one of my favorite weeks between two of the top two teams here in their division, Kakariko division of the Light World Conference. So I don't think this night can get much better.
Oh no, this should be. We're in for a super treat. So Nep and Furaime are top tier executioners. Especially even ready for what we've often seen in spoiler log key sanity races is low % execution. They have absolute faith in their pilots for Edium and Kyung. Kyung is actually the winner of the spoiler log race of last year and second place this year, so this should be quite the treat for us.
Oh yeah, this is going to be one of these races where it's going to come down to who can get the most communication between their pilot. I mean, both of these runners are undefeated when it comes to their individual races. Granted, this is SailorNep's. This is her second match total, while Furaime, this is his third match. So, gonna be really tight. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, looks like we are just doing some slight syncing here, but both runners are off to the races here. Looks like we found an early hook shot for SailorNep. This is a really nice mobility item. You see her actually, not only is she able to kind of stun guard, she can also check the stun prize just in case. Picking up 3 bombs, very nice for early resources.
We find a small key there to Thievestown, so that's a very interesting find this early in the game. Will that mean that we got something deep in the big chest there into Thievestown?
Yeah, it's always really interesting. I mean, there actually is some amount of divergence for what these runners' approaches are, and yeah, as you said, Bandman, that small key to Thievestown is always a little questionable because you need actually quite a bit of stuff to get there, right? You need the big key to Thievestown as well, and you need the hammer. And do you really want to venture over there with 3 or 4 hearts and green mail? I don't know.
Me personally, I say no, but I'm not these runners, so that's why I enjoy watching them. And if you also look there on the track, we finally figured out what our pennants and crystals are. 5, 6, both Hera and Pod, while Swamp Palace is that green nasty pennant here. Finding several keys. Ooh, and the Titan's mitt, so, or not the Titan, that's the Power Glove.
Yeah, very early access here. And of course, you can see SailorNep and Furaime both kind of skipping, occasional checks here and there. That is because they have their trusty pilots, Edium and Kyung, to tell them, for the most part, exactly where items of progression are. Okay, so you see Kyung here not even bombing that back wall because he knows it's not gonna help him in his path.
Ooh, and SailorNep there, she finds herself the magic mirror, so that's almost all we need there for Swamp Palace minus the flippers. I mean, we already found ourselves the hook shot. Still need to find that hammer, but to be honest with you, that's only just a matter of time before that one. So that green pendant looking pretty interesting.
Yeah, actually, we also see some good game knowledge here. Looks like rupees are actually going to be somewhat of an issue because we see Kyung actually ended up picking up the blue rupees, taking his time to do so in the well. And he ended up selling off his good beef from the bottle vendor. You get 100 free rupees for that.
Yeah, it's always a good one to have, that knowledge when you get that B. I know that's one I accidentally forget more times than I care to admit to. And well, speaking of the hammer.
Yeah, is this a commentator spoiler log blessing here?
Well, I haven't looked too much at the spoiler log yet, so I'm one of those people that just kind of enjoys watching these games more than putting my nose there on my screens looking at that spoiler log. So, but I will eventually.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, these runners actually. I mean, these races are just really entertaining because you see all these items kind of come fast and furious. Right. And it's actually quite the balance for these pilots to be able to tell their runners what to do, right? Because oftentimes you really actually just care about items of progression, right? Like the hammer or the hook shot. You're gonna need these things. Sometimes you don't quite realize that you're setting your runner off to maybe do Skull Woods on 4 hearts and Fighter's Sword, right? Or maybe you need another heart container. You need like some blue potions.
Yeah, we've already seen that one blue potion so far, but yeah, you're absolutely right. When we get to that dark world, that's where everything picks up, and with those extra safeties that you need, I mean, it's definitely nice to if you're able to route them in, getting a full heart container, getting a heart piece here and there, even finding a mail upgrade. I mean, as much as everybody likes to say red mail is for the weaklings, I mean, sometimes it's good to have that one. And there's our bow there in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, that's really nice. Just in terms of a weapon to use, because that hammer isn't always that hitbox isn't always the most reliable. However, neither runner has any arrows to speak of, so they're going to have to pick up some arrows in order to use that bow. However, given that Eastern is a crystal, I'm sure they're probably headed there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we're definitely finding a lot of bombs. This is a very bomb-friendly seed so far.
Yeah, I see SailorNep here, kind of battling out over here, trying to get over to Ice Rod Cave, studying those crabs. Those crabs do 2 hearts of damage. Pretty dangerous, especially on 4 hearts.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, those are the biggest hit here in the Light War. If I remember right, being 2 hearts on green mail, and right there in the Ice Rod Cave, find ourselves the flippers. So don't need a fake flipper, but we might possibly see a water walk, but not on SailorNep side.
Yeah, the early flippers is interesting because I don't know if there's going to be any money concerns, but definitely picking up those flippers though might make a later Houlihan more problematic. We are headed over to the waterfall area though. Certainly no money for Zora, and I assume they don't need to scout out the Zora ledge since Edium, I'm sure, has more than informed the SailorNet whether or not that's going to be useful.
Yeah, this is where communication becomes key. I mean, here we are. We're only 6 minutes here into the race, and right now the pilot for each runner, they got their nose here in this spoiler log, trying to figure out what they need. And this is, like I said, is where communication comes in handy, and make sure you get everything you need.
Yeah, picking up the Canis Amare and the Moon Pearl, that is our 6-minute Dark World access. That is exactly where SailorNep looks like she's going.
Yeah, heading to Dark World right there for Hype Cave. Picking up that cane and Moon Pearl, 2 very important things that we need to see.
Very interesting that Kion ended up putting throwing his bottle into the waterfall fairy, getting another B out of it. Now the spoiler log does say what the prize is for the bottles from waterfall fairy. Maybe Kion was just kind of hoping he would get something more free, maybe another potion or another safety.
Ooh, finding a heart container and the lamp there in Hype Cave. So no
man.
dark rooms here in this race today.
These runners are getting so spoiled. Look at how they have 2 bottles. They have 5 whole hearts now to their name. And a blue potion? I mean, oh.
I mean, these racers being spoiled in a spoiler log seed, is that possible? I didn't think that was possible in a spoiler log seed, but we can be proven wrong every once in a while, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, looks like Kyung is kind of taking the maybe more thoroughness approach here, just telling Furaime just to kind of pick everything up. Meanwhile, it looks like Edium is telling SailorNep to maybe pick and choose his chess, or her chess. Did we just find the boots on Stumpy? I'm pretty sure I saw that in an earlier scene. There is some PRNG there. All right, I wholeheartedly approve of this approach. Is get to the Dark World, rush boots as fast as you possibly can. Boots in these runners' hands or shoes, I guess. I mean, it's the more often you have, the longer you have boots, the more advantage you will have. Kyung and Furaime are right behind Nep in this case.
Now, granted, we are a week removed from the casual boots seeds from 2 weeks ago. So, granted, it was a week ago, but we did have SG Live in between. But we got really spoiled there when we had those boots and that sword. So
Mm-hmm.
you're absolutely right. And to find those boots right away, extremely important. Help you go fast.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of, when you say casual boots had starting sword and boots, right? I mean, so 8-minute boots, certainly not to complain too much, but yeah, these runners are really going to look for that sword to really make these boots shine.
Yeah, I would think probably that sword's probably going to end up being their next weapon that they find. I mean, everything they found so far right now, with when it comes to our attack weapons, really about the only thing we haven't seen is a sword, which is kind of surprising. But then again, hopefully these swords aren't too buried in this seed. I've called a couple seeds already here in this weekend. Those swords have been kind of rude.
You would think, right, with 4 of them out there, that at least one of them might be in a palatable spot. But so far, 9.5 minutes in, they don't really look that appealing.
Oh, fire rod there in Bonk Rocks. I think SailorNep passed up on that one.
This is interesting routing here. Maybe she just didn't end up getting. Hey, speaking of a sword, we find one. Finally, was able to afford a 30 rupee sword out of the chess game.
That's a good worth of your money there, $30. So probably not the one you want to buy for 30 rupees, but
Yeah, we really should have just gone to the swordsmiths. Oh, okay, all right. did we say something about swords being unpalatable locations? I mean, we just literally found 2 in Village of Outcasts. All right, though that'll make SailorNep life a lot easier. Count and Furaime very soon to follow.
yeah, I mean, so far we can kind of knock on wood while we can. We've been kind of saying things and they find them. We haven't been. I'm gonna not use the C word right now, but we're gonna
we're gonna bless them the entire way through, right?
Yes, exactly. We're going to bless them.
Yeah, we can actually see just, probably on SailorNep side and Furaime side is no sword means you can't dash through those bushes, has to pick them up the hard way. But Furaime will be pretty happy here, be sure to get his first sword.
Yeah, it looks like SailorNep just found out where that fire rod is because she just took an about haste and using that mirror to hit Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, so with Master Sword, with the fire rod, with well, it looks like Skullwoods is a pendant, so maybe they don't have to go to that area, but it is clearable now.
Yeah, at the rate that they're going right now, I mean, outside of keys, I mean, my goodness, they really don't need a whole lot when it comes to inventory items. Now, we still need to pull a ton of keys here, but man, we might see a no mode or a go mode really fast in the sea. I mean, this might be the true version of a jet seat at the rate they're going.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. As you said, like the items that they have are coming in pretty fast and furious. But I think in terms of key pickup, according to our great tracker duo here, who's clicking all the buttons behind the scenes, we don't really have that many keys. It looks like we've got a Swamp Palace big key, a couple small keys here and there, but they're gonna need a lot more. Like, for example, we need the Eastern Palace big key. We need Desert Palace big key, and we actually need a couple of Turtle Rock small keys in order to at least get to Trinex, and maybe more depending on what else is in there.
Yeah, and just like that, Furaime here making his way here into the back of Skull Woods, and SailorNep making her way into Swamp Palace. So two clear opposite directions we're going, and finding the book there.
Man, all right. So that is a very strong indication that either we have a that would be something on the tablets, because we would already know from the spoiler log what would be potentially on the pedestal. So we wouldn't actually need the book for that. But yeah, as you said here, seeing that Nep is dipping Pendant Swamp, and Furaime ended up dipping Pendant Skull Woods, these are the kind of scenes I'm really glad we have a spoiler log for, because if this was a normal scene, I mean, imagine like how much you have to kind of like explore, right? In order to get all your items of progression.
Yeah, and right there, Furaime he's following right behind SailorNep, so something's got to be important here into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and certainly, the runners are going to try and prioritize either spheres, like for just early access, or it's going to be a nice, let's say, sword upgrade, safety, or any type of thing that will make their lives easier or faster in the long run. Right? Like for example, if silvers are here, it actually might be worthwhile to get them, now versus later, right? Because you haven't cleared any crystal or pendant bosses.
Yeah, finding early silver arrows, that would definitely be a great find. I mean, especially since we can't kill them all, but we can kill pretty much several of them here with those silver arrows in one shot. So
yeah, you can actually see Furaime using a little bit of muscle memory there, bombing over the first wall. But he was definitely told by Kyung, his trusty pilot, that there was in fact nothing in that chest.
oh, there's our ether medallion. There's our required medallion that we need to get into Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. So, and SailorNep making her way to the back. I wonder if she's going all the way to the boss.
Yeah, unfortunately getting a little bit bullied there by the Bari and the Fire Snake, but makes it through just all right. Yeah, and something could be an Argus, something could be here in these last couple chests, or maybe just the back of Swamp.
Ooh, there's a nice big key. Ooh, big key to Turtle Rock and the boomerang. Everybody's favorite boomerang there.
Yeah, and SailorNep's continuing on to Swamp.
I say that was a very impressive diver down stretch she did just right there. A big key to, there's our pod big key, and she's noping out.
Yeah, all right. Looks like we don't need green pendant today, and we've got a couple of big keys coming out of Swamp Palace. Those are very important big keys to access our crystal dungeon bosses.
Yeah, it looks like Furaime gonna do his diver down as well. Got the Kanasmari out. Wow, very quick. Wow.
Yeah, the execution on these runners are, it's top tier.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, where these runners finished in the Spoiler Logs tournament.
It looks like actually SailorNep is quite a bit more aware of her money shortage, having actually to go over here to the archer game in order to probably get enough money for the dig game, or maybe pod.
Well, if she's going to pod, she's still 1 rupee short, but I'm pretty sure she'll find that really fast. Or wait, maybe not.
Yeah, it looks like the counter. Yeah, it looks like the counter in this case was just a little bit slow. Didn't quite end up catching up before they had to save and quit.
Where the heck is Furaime going?
Maybe a whirlpool to Catfish?
Okay. I was kind of confused for a second because it's kind of rare when we go that way. So yeah, it's definitely a different way of going to Catfish. Probably a faster way to get there here in the Dark World.
Yeah, I definitely really enjoy the use of the game knowledge here. It's not often we get to actually see the usage of whirlpools. Granted, these runners don't have a flute yet. Not actually sure if they're going to explicitly need that flute because Mire is a pendant. But of course, that flute, if it's available, especially early on, it's a great item for mobility.
Yeah, it looks like SailorNep's going in the same direction. So basically, just both of them were taking 2 different routes, going to the same place.
All right, this is another example of if something here on Catfish I want the spoiler log for. That is a big key too. Eastern Palace, sorry.
All right, so that right there, that allows us to take care of that Eastern Palace pod clear combination right there with the bow and the hammer.
Yeah.
And a fire. We both got our lamps, so we don't have to worry about the dark room. So.
Yeah, so in terms of items, this is looking superb. For pod, in order to get to Helm's Sword, we're going to need at least 1 or probably 2 small keys to be comfortable, which in this case, according to our tracker, I don't actually see any small keys. However, there's always a key and pod for pod, right? Something like that.
I'm going to take your word for it. I'm so used to playing the regular rando where we find all our keys here. I got to keep in my mind frame that this is key sanity, and keys can be anywhere.
You are absolutely correct. And in fact, even actually during this week, I think I've seen at least one race where the management of keys. Sometimes, you know, it's just very easy, as you said, right? When you normally play like a normal, standard, or open mode that's not key sanity, you have all your keys in your dungeons, and sometimes you forget that you still need a big key to Eastern, or you need a small key to Pod. Small key to Turtle Rock's probably more common.
Yeah, that was the difference in the race I called last night, where it came down to a small key for Pod, and that was the biggest difference in the game. So hopefully we won't have to worry about that again tonight. And looks like SailorNep was going to go into Saha, but changed her mind.
Yeah, potentially there's like nothing of use, it looks like. So she's going to deliver Kiki, and potentially, you know, if she's going to follow Furaime's footsteps here, go to Mirror and then do Eastern.
Yeah, Furaime ended up just finding our first safety game. He did find that blue mail, so blue mail on 5 hearts, so it makes life a little bit easier.
Yeah, certainly I can't imagine them having too much issues, especially with that lamp here at Eastern. But, you know, once they cross over to that mirror portal into Pod, I am suddenly very happy to have blue mail. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a great early pickup there for I'm here in Eastern. We have our Temper Sword. He's going to be quite happy for the rest of the match.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I think that's basically every runner's favorite sword. I get to see that Tempered Sword. And looked like SailorNep took a chance to see if they found a key in that first chest there of Pod, but it was just some arrows, so she noped out, and now she's into Eastern getting her blue mail.
Yeah, certainly one thing that I've also noticed about Kyung when he was doing all those Spoilerlog races is that he is very conscious of resources as well. So resources includes consumables like bombs and arrows, and also money. He is very detailed oriented, so I certainly really like this routing here by Kyung to make sure that they always have enough for everything that they need to do. It's a nice bombs drops from those poop boys.
Well, the way this seed's going right now, we may not have to worry about bombs. Seems like we're literally finding them everywhere. And Furaime's setting up looks like a quick kill on Armus Knights here. Wow, just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
And there's our first crystal, 21 minutes in the game. Very nice fight on Furaime's side. And SailorNep about 3 rooms behind.
Yeah, super clean, and it's these races are pretty actually closely next to each other. It looks like SailorNep is kind of missing a book out of Skull Woods, but other than that, in terms of at least item progression, they're also really close.
Looks like Furaime gonna make his way to the right side here of Pod, kind of the opposite direction of what SailorNep went to a little bit earlier. Went down to the basement on the left-hand side. And wow, SailorNep setting up a perfect quick kill there on the Armos Knights on her side. So wow, 2 very fast Armos Knights kills.
Yeah, these runners are very skilled with that bow. Furaime had a really nice Nibix room as well. Hey, look at that! There's a key to Pod and Pod. All right, so these guys looks like at least if there's something in the back, they can go straight to the store, or they can do some stuff here in the front.
All right, so clear mouse. I'm hoping I'm gonna trust that you didn't look that up on the spoiler log. So
I have not. It's call it commentators hope/intuition.
Oh, there's another great item. There's our Titan's mitts. So that now gives us full access to Death Mountain whenever we get up there. So.
Oh yeah, and this is also something that's also pretty challenging for pilots, at least from my observation, is we definitely see that Turtle Rock is a crystal, so we don't have to go there eventually, but the hope is that you can minimize the number of trips you take to the mountain, because every mountain climb is another at least 1 minute, depending on what you have to do. So yeah. I'm certainly hoping that here Kyung and Furaime can single dip the mountain, but if they can't, you try and just minimize the number of trips you take.
Yeah, this is very impressive routing on Furaime's side. He's only has 1 key in his spare right now, and that's the only key he's found. And yet, the way his routing has been, where he was able to pick up the Titan's Mitt without using that key, looks like he doesn't need to go to the back since he's going straight to the boss. So, I mean,
really, a really nice benefit here of of having that spoiler log is that you can actually see, what's in the back, and if so pod routing actually can be quite tricky, especially in spoiler log races here with Key Sanity. But hey, if there's nothing you need in the back, then you don't have a routing problem.
yeah, I mean, I've always been under the kind of the idea that if you're going to get through pod, you need at least 2 keys. But Furaime and Keyong are telling us otherwise, that you just need the 1 key.
Yeah, looks like certainly having that bow makes it easy, and you certainly need a bow to complete pod. So yeah. But otherwise, if there was something that they needed a double dig pod for, I think they did have a blue potion with them somewhere. All right, Kyung on Furaime on his second crystal boss kill already. I don't know if he just 17 hits to the face for Helmet Sword, and then he has Temper Sword, so he doesn't even need the spin speed strats here. He just kind of slash at him.
Say dodging the fire puffs there. There's 1 spin, 3 and 4. Down goes Helmasaur. So right there, just shy of 25 minutes here in the race, Furaime picks up a small key to Turtle Rock and picks up his second crystal of the game. And so right there, very quick Eastern Palace and pod clears. Just 5 more crystals to go here. So where do we go from? Where do you go from here? If you didn't have the spoiler log, where would you be going?
I would probably be going to my next clearable crystal dungeon, wherever that is. Maybe Thieves Town? I guess we don't have a big key though, so hopefully, yeah, maybe Ice Palace. We have the mitts. We don't actually need the Ice Palace big key, it looks like, in order to at least beat Coldster. And we have some nice convenient routing keys for us.
Yeah, it looks like you read Furaime's mind, because there he is. He's making his way into Ice Palace, so good call.
All right. Maybe, yeah. And of course, with that Cane of Samaria, this, being able to do Diver Down, this will make Ice Palace clear a lot faster.
Yeah, and right there, SailorNep picks up her small key to Turtle Rock and picks up her second crystal of the match. Not too far behind Furaime.
Oh yeah, no, these guys are definitely very close to each other, and so in spoiler log races, it's actually sometimes the one instance where you actually need potions. You use them as actual safeties as opposed to potion camera unlock or something. These guys are on 5 hearts blue mail. There is a reason why it's Dark World and late crystal dungeons. These guys, all these enemies hit like a truck. So deaths are extremely costly in spoiler log races, and we've definitely seen times where maybe there's a misroute or there's a death, and then the lead just suddenly changes.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially here in Ice Palace, being on that 5 hearts, out of all the dungeons prior here to late game, I mean, this is the kind of one of the places if you don't want to take a death here. Furaime trying to get here the icebreaker. He's been pretty close to getting it, and he's almost there. There he goes. There's our icebreaker.
Yeah, it looks like he potentially wanted to try and save his menu time, but actual time just eventually wins out. All right, definitely not giving into muscle memory there. Doesn't need that extra key. He ended up picking up 2 earlier, and then taking the 3rd one from the Bari earlier. Finding another key to Turtle Rock. Really super convenient there on the way.
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to find keys that are not out of the way, especially for Turtle Rock. I mean, granted, there's only 2 more keys available for Turtle Rock, but don't want to be having to go out of your way on Turtle Rock if you don't have to. And yeah, going straight to the boss there on Furaime's side. It's amazing here, 30 years after this game, and we're finding all these glitches here. And Furaime here, been in Ice Palace for maybe a minute and a half right now, and he's already to the boss. That's crazy compared to how long it used to take when you had to just do the bomb jump. And SailorNep, wow, that was an even faster icebreaker there on SailorNep's side. Wow.
Yeah.
And Furaime there, 8 fire rod shots. Now it's time for the puffs here. Oh,
yeah, Yeah, it looks like the pups got a little bit away from him. Otherwise, though, I still managed to take down all 3 pups there relatively quickly.
Big key to Thieves Town.
Hey, do you have maybe a guess for where we could potentially go next?
I'm gonna have to say Thieves Town next.
It's a pretty nice and linear path here that Kyung has carved out for Furaime.
Yeah, the way this is setting up, I mean, it's this seed literally saying, "Hey, go here," and then, "Hey, go here," and then, "Hey, go here." This seed's being way too nice to us for some odd reason, even for being a spoiler log seed.
Yeah, it certainly looks like so Nep is going to drop down here, also take care of her cold stare fight.
Very close behind.
Yes, and we basically it's separated by 1 cold stare fight at this point, right? And a book pickup from the back of Skullwoods.
There's 2 pups down. There's there's 3 pups down. So 2 very, very fast fights, and gets her big key to Thieves Town and picks up her 3rd crystal, while Furaime turns us both into fibbers, and he's going up the mountain.
That's right. All right. So this is going to be mountain trip number 1, unless we have the rest of our goodies here in order to clear Turtle Rock. You know, of course, in a seed like this, we always wonder where that elusive ice rod is. But you know, the Kyung and Edium both have this prologue. The ice rod hunt is Control F on Notepad.
Now there's another small key here to Gannis Tower. So that's our first small key, and okay, I missed it, but look, we have the big key to Gannis Tower. When the heck did that happen?
Oh, man, these thank you, Duo, for tracking that. I don't remember. Thank you. All right, looks like back of escape. All right, so that's a very important big key.
I totally missed that one. Yeah, thank you, Duo. Thank you to our wonderful tracker here.
Right, yeah, and you know, and in terms of routing, other than some very minor early divergence, both runners are following, you know, relatively the same path. Furaime, remembering or being told by Kyung that you don't need anything in the bottom paradox cave, of course, is just always muscle memory, kind of kicking in sometimes. Hey, and when did Furaime pick up 3 other heart pieces? That is a bonus 6 heart for Furaime there. I was not paying enough attention on Nep's side to see if she picked up any extra heart pieces, but I mean, that extra heart container can really make or break, like execution going forward.
Yeah, and here we are. I mean, as fast as the game's going, I mean, here we are, 31 minutes in the game. Make sure you give these runners a follow here. I mean, between SailorNep and Furaime here on both their teams, doing a great job. Give them a follow if you have not already done so. Give their teammates a follow. On Titans Mitch, you got Dainty, Edium, and SailorNep. On Commando Hypers, you got Furaime, Chex, Human, and Keong. Give them a follow as well. They're all working hard for us. Give my Cocom Clear Mouse a follow if you haven't already. Give our tracker Duo Deck a follow. And give, I think it was Relkin was our restream. So give them all a follow if you haven't already. We definitely need all their help to do everything we possibly can here to bring you entertainment on this wonderful Thursday night.
All right, looks like Furaime has made his way into Turtle Rock, skipping the torture room, oh no! That Bari, what a jerk, man! All right, going back, second time around. Hopefully not gonna get bullied this time and having to redo this room.
You know, I think the programmers did that on purpose because they knew that we were going to do something to this game like 30 years around, and those jellies every time. It seems like somebody always gets bumped off their little bridge there at least once every game.
Yeah, we can see Furaime here taking his revenge, just burning both the Stephos, probably just an innocent bystander there in Turtle Rock, but yeah, that Bari is definitely good for God. Yeah, using that nice key, get past the Jim Chomps, and you know, we're going further. So unless this has to be a double dip of Turtle Rock, we either have another small key in here and the ice rod, or there is something very important that we need.
Well, SailorNep actually just picked up her 3rd key to Turtle Rock there in Super Bunny Cave, and I'm not sure if Furaime picked that up or not.
Furaime taking no chances here with those pokey. He's gonna pull out that fire rod. right, so we're going to continue. So there could be something in the big chest. There could be something right here in Mimic Cave.
Oh, not Mimic Room. Not Mimic Cave.
I mean, the item placement so far that we've seen, right? We had to go into Pendant Swamp for progression. We had to go to Baptist Skull West for progression. Oh my gosh, we have to go get the flute out of Mimic Cave. Alright, which means, are we dipping our third Pendant Dungeon for Meyer already? I mean, like, the item placements here have been pretty crummy, in my opinion. Like, everything is just so far scattered out of the way, right? And you can't even finish with a rock here.
Yeah, that is extremely bad place for the flute. I mean, holy cow. But yeah, I mean, having to go into Misery, I mean, something's got to be in the Misery Mire area now. Hopefully it's not in Misery Mire, but hopefully it's just a very quick check here into the Mire area. But
yeah, you bring up a very good point. You know, even though Mire is accessible by the flute, but yeah, there's Mire Shed, there's Checkerboard Cave. Yeah, let's hope for the sake of our runners that something is there versus inside Mire itself, and especially if it's in Mire, it's not in the vanilla big key chest, because that means it's another 17-second cutscene that they have to go through.
Man, that would be rude too. Having to go all the way to Mimic Cave just to get the flute to go to Misery Mire to get the cutscene chest. Ooh.
I guess at least you have a spoiler log to tell you this, because I mean, imagine you have to play this particular scene blind, right?
Oh my, yeah.
Right. Speaking of blind, here we go. All right, so we're no longer fibbers, and hopefully with that small key, with that big key, with that hammer, with Temper Sword, although it doesn't matter, Furaime's going to clear out Thieves Town.
Yeah, pretty much any attack weapon that you have will take down blind. I mean, well, and I use the word kind of any. You can use the Cane of Samario, Cane of Berna, your hammer, your sword. I mean, can't think of much more to take down blind. So it takes 9 hits for all of them.
We will be keeping an ardent watch on both Furaime's and SailorNep's side to make sure that they hit exactly 9 times. And of course, the kind of nice thing about Thieves Town is that if you don't need the big key, you can just skip those 4 chests if they have nothing.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can just manage to go straight to the back.
Alright, Furaime taking care to make sure that the bomb absolutely explodes, because one of the worst things that can happen in Thieves Town is you throw the bomb, you think it exploded, and then you get all the way down to rescue the maiden and bring her to the boss room, and then there's no light to activate blind.
That sounds horrible. I've never seen it, but then again, I don't want to jinx anybody because we've been doing so great at blessing everybody of what we've been, some of our early items here. So
yeah. Alright, activating her flute. Looks like Nep. She is right on Furaime's heels here, gonna make her way over to the Dark Worlds. Presumably Thieves Town is gonna be her next stop. Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that super convenient heart container right in the maiden cell of Thieves Town. Man, Furaime is just living the high life here. 7 full hearts and blue mail.
yeah, the only thing that would have made any better had that actually been the Sanctuary heart. But then again, you can't complain. He's up to 8 hearts now, so. Or no, sorry, he's up to 7.
Yeah, no, 7 is, yeah, so it looks like same number of heart containers that Nep ended up picking up, but Furaime, with Kyung's guidance, picked up an additional 4 heart pieces to get him that extra heart. Staying on script looks great. 9 hits, right?
There it was, 9 hits, and found our 3rd bottle of the match.
Wow. Man, all right, so we have 3 bottles, we have 7 hearts, we have blue mail. We are missing a little bit of money, but if there's a fairy somewhere and there's a bugnet available, I mean, is this spoil log? Is this low percent? I mean, Furaime's got a pretty cushy ride here so far.
I'll say, yeah, there's really not a whole lot we're needing here for when it comes to safeties. The only thing we're missing, I think, is the Cane of Brian. So, man. Oh, and the red mail, but I'm one of those guys who likes to have the red mail.
I'm right there with you. You know, for these runners though, maybe that's overkill. Oh no! All right, I'm hoping good thoughts for you, Furaime. That whatever item you need here in Mire is going to be early and fast.
I said, we're going to get to see a bird toss here. Nope.
Aw, sadly not. Yeah, actually, you know, when you mentioned, speaking of safeties, both runners ended up picking up the cave in Paradox Cave. Certainly, that is a really nice safety, as you said. You know, in general, I am curious if there is something on Bumper Ledge, or if there's something in Spike Cave itself.
Yeah, that is a good point, and it's also going to make here, if we have to go all the way to Vitreous here, would make the Vitreous fight just a little bit easier at this point. I mean, one of the great things about having that cave, if you spam like crazy that sword while you're fighting Vitreous, that magic meter just goes down just a little bit slower. So,
Hey, all right, boy. Imagine you didn't have the spoiler lock for the sea, that you had to go to Pendant Mire where for the ice rod when the flute was a mimic cave. Holy cow!
You had to go all the way halfway through Turtle Rock to get the flute to go into Mire to get the ice rod. And there's our fourth key into Turtle Rock. So.
Yeah, alright, yeah, I mean, it looks like, of course, we're going to make it a Trinex. Probably we don't need too much more than that small key, I think. So yeah, I mean, it looks like it was just maybe runner preference. If they know there was a small key to Rock and Mire, they can pick that one up versus going through Super Bunny Cave.
I'm kind of confused here. Don't you need the big key to get to Land Mollusk and Desert?
Bandman, you are 100% correct. I am certainly hoping that they have it, and we just didn't keep up with the tracking. Because this, we're going to find out really soon whether or not Furaime actually has this key.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, I didn't think he had the big key because SailorNep has it. So let's see here. We'll find out here briefly here in about 20 seconds if he has it or not.
Oh man, I forgot about the cutscene. The suspense, man! Only there was a way to be able to fast forward through these cutscenes.
Chat is thinking that we had.
Alright. That's totally good news here for Komodo Hyper, for Kyung and Furaime. That would have been a pretty costly mistake.
Well, see, this is why they're running and we're just here commentating, because. And right there it is, 41 and a half minutes here. Furaime picks up his 5th crystal of the game. Just 2 left. All we got is our Tower of Herrick and Turtle Rock, and really don't need anything else. I mean, we don't, at this rate, I mean, I haven't looked at spoiler log, but I'm pretty sure we don't need the big key because both these runners know how to do a hair pot glitch. And then they both have that extra key for Turtle Rock. So somewhere along the line, we actually kind of went into go mode.
Oh yeah, maybe in a spoiler log race, was it really Ice Rod go mode? That doesn't usually happen, but given where that Ice Rod placement is, you know, for the seed, it's certainly not a surprise. Yeah, that go mode really did sneak up on us. At least snuck up on me. In fact, when you said Furaime picked up his 5th crystal, I was like, wait, no, he only has 4. Oh no, wait, he cleared Thieves Town so quickly that I totally just forgot about it.
Yeah, because they didn't open anything. The only chest that both of them opened up was that Maiden's chest to get that heart container. So, and they're just flying through this game. This is definitely going to be very close, an hour seed.
Yeah, and right now, you know, maybe outside of some more safeties or convenience, you know, it's pure execution at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back. I did watch a lot of the last spoiler log tournament on replay, and it seemed like the average seed, though, when it came to a spoiler log, when it was just one person's spoiler log, was around what, like 45 to 50 minutes, and that was with the 15-minute buffer period. This one, they got the spoiler log literally right as the race started, but their pilot got it. So This is gonna be interesting to see how fast it goes. And there's SailorNep's fifth crystal.
Yeah, so it looks like at this point, after she kind of finishes the cutscene, she is one Death Mountain climb behind. I am kind of curious as to why Kyung ended up telling Furaime to pick up the book, because I could have just missed it on SailorNep's side, but they don't have that in their inventory, do they?
What's that?
They don't have Nep doesn't have the book in her inventory, right? Because I remember Kyung sent Furaime to go get the book in the back of Skull Woods.
Yeah, she never went into Skullwoods, if I remember correctly.
All right, okay. Maybe there is something convenient on a tablet that, as we're kind of making our way over to GT or Hera, we can just get that really quickly. Another heart container certainly wouldn't, turn down at this point.
Yeah, being at 6 and 7 right now, hopefully their pilots are starting to find those heart containers and heart pieces for them. So.
Yeah, this is also, I think, things that are, we probably mentioned, early on was, communication is absolute paramount, right? To, these. Okay, all right. So that's a really convenient armor upgrade there for Furaime. All right, so he should be set here for in terms of defense. Red mail, maybe another heart container, but I mean, red mail is more than plenty.
Hey, we find that red mail. I'm now happy. That's all we need. Who cares what people say on all those memes?
The most costly thing that can happen to you in a spoiler lock race is if you die. So anything that can prevent death that's right on the way, I think we are more than happy to take.
Yeah, and right, I mean, here we are. We're now 2 rooms away here on Furaime's side of seeing Trinex. Holy cow. Another very fast dungeon. Now, granted, we did clear the majority of it on the first time around, but as fast as they're going now, I mean, here with the Tempered Sword takes... Oh, he's going back door strat, so gonna go even faster.
Yeah, I see this really nice execution on the firehead. On the ice head, also firehead. Nice use of quick swap as well. Can't quite get the zero cycle there with Tempered Sword, but very, very clean face one.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the backdoor strats there on Trinex, and just like that, down goes Trinex. That's his 6th crystal of the match, and Trinex gives us butter.
Well, all right. So maybe in terms of firepower, these runners are pretty set. So maybe when we go find Moldorm, they'll drop silvers, and then we don't have to worry about any upgrades anymore for the rest of the game.
That is very true. We got the butter sword there on Trinex, a very convenient place for our sword. All 4 of our swords were actually very convenient today. 2 in Thieves Town, 1 in Eastern Palace, and right there's the 4th.
Yeah, these runners have to go swordless for the vast majority, I guess, of the early game, right? Which when they're exploring Light World. But yeah, once they got to the Dark World, they were definitely have a more than playable game, right? Boots were also a stumpy. They got boots early. They got 2 swords very early, and yeah, the rest of the swords were just pretty much right on their path, as we just said.
Yeah, and right. Oh, getting bodied there by that mini Moldorm there. Going to try again here with the Hairpot glitch, which is wow. I'm speechless. Holy cow. Very nice.
Yeah, Furaime had a really nice hook speed set up there for Hairpot. Yeah, and with this butter sword, and hopefully Moldorm will not be too much of a jerk today.
And right there, SailorNep, that's her 6th crystal taken down. Trinex gonna pick up her butter sword. Just 2 slashes with that butter sword to take down Moldorm, and there he goes at just under 48 minutes. That's our 7th crystal. So, should we talk about the big key guessing game?
We can. So for what it's worth, don't try and guess 1 through 22 because it's not anywhere in GT.
Yeah, I think we got to go on the negative numbers on that one since we found it way before GT.
Yeah, and so even so, this routing by both Edium and Kyung to direct their racers, right? The dream for any really seed, like especially even for Key Sanity, is that you can do Hera as your last crystal, because you can just mirror as what we're seeing on Prime's side, and then go immediately to GT. This is really nice riding by both pilots.
Yeah, and here we are, sub 49 minutes going into GT, and looks like SailorNep using the bomb strats to pick up her hairpod glitch. I think this is one of the first time I've seen anybody set up use that first bomb because she uses a bomb here. I've never actually seen this setup, so I've seen the bomb set up. I've seen people individually place it, so very nice setup there, and she gets it.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I think she did push left.
Oh, she saved and quit.
Yeah, because I think what happened maybe is I think if you push left right before you drop down to the pot, and if you don't, you could end up soft locking. Oh no, that is an unfortunate execution.
But she had the mirror. Can you not use the mirror?
You cannot.
I'd say, yeah, chat's telling us no, you can't. Okay, I did not know that. I always kind of figured that you could. So, and now here's Furaime going up the gauntlet here, 4 toughest rooms of the entire game. But Furaime here with that butter sword, red mail, gonna make this look really easy.
Yeah, I'm sure that Furaime ended up losing or taking a hit intentionally, of course, to lose 2 sword beams for these rooms. Just like NMG, right? Anytime you run NMG, you got 7 hearts, red mail, gold sword, yeah.
Sounds about right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's my NMG type of run. It looks like we're going to opt for some sword spins here. I'll probably want to conserve that magic, for later rooms.
Yeah, and then right there goes down Lamwell is 2 here, and now SailorNep. Now at Moldorm 1 here. Now 2 most favorite rooms for a lot of runners here, or not the most favorite, most satisfying rooms here. 1 shot takes down 3 or 4 enemies. And there goes Trolldorm. So there's crystal number 7 there on SailorNep's side. So gonna make her, unfortunately, she's got to go all the way down to Turtle Rock, hit that portal before she can make her way into GT. Yeah,
this is just unfortunate. And Moldorm was definitely not kind to her, knocking her down. I think I saw only 1 time. Hopefully it was only once, so it could have been more. But yeah, this at least puts her in her 7th crystal. But yeah, as you said, because of that unfortunate soft lock, she needs to get another Dark World portal.
And now here we are, Torch Room.
Yeah, meanwhile, Furaime here continuously climbing the gauntlet. Very nice to not despawn the entire GT. Wait, what are we doing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I need that 2nd key here to get to that last room here before Moldorm. And don't have the powder here, so we're not going to be able to completely refresh our memory, or not our memory, our life bar, but does get another heart container. So we are now up to 8 hearts here on Furaime's side. Very convenient heart container.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so at least in terms of safeties, the seed was a bit kinder, right? Because, as we're seeing here, there were at least 3 heart containers on the way. We've got red mail, we've got we've got 3 bottles, right? But I mean, just in terms of item placement, right? We had to go get the ice rod out of Pendant Mire, where the flute was buried in Mimic Cave, so it was a forced double dig of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, this seed has been one of these seeds where it was really nice with the items, but man, when it came to those last 2 items with the flute and the ice rod, they're like, nah, we're gonna stop being nice, we're gonna be mean. And hopefully you're good at math here, Clear Mouse, because I am bad at math.
I'm personally not good with numbers at all. I always hope that my co-com can, try and cover for me here. But it looks like Furaime's got us both covered, because was that 3, 2, 1?
That's what it looked like. It was a countdown, 3, 2, 1. So
yeah, I mean, he had a nice triple in the first one. I think there was a blue ball in the second one, so it wasn't possible even to get the triple. But yeah, it's still pretty nice Aga 2. Yeah, with that, I'm so even though Furaime only has 3 hearts, he's got I think at least 1 blue potion with him, but he's got gold sword, probably can get the 1 cycle, and yeah, and then it's what 12 silverless spins to win.
Oh, now come on! He's got the gold sword. I thought the gold sword you had to have the 24 spins and.
Oh yeah. Maybe he'll spin a couple extra for us, just to give us some more practice.
There you go. I was gonna say as fast as this is going to go, especially these first couple of phases here. I mean, right now he's already on the second phase. He's already done with the second phase. Just got to clear out these bats now. And now we're going to see Ganon throw a little temper tantrum while SailorNep is using her blue potion and finishing up the gauntlet here. And Ganon's playing a little bit of hide and go seek here. These are a lot of teleports.
I'm always really nervous when I see runners quick swap to mirror because it's only 1 Y button press away from starting all over. But I'm really glad that Nep quick swapped over to the fire rod later.
I say, can you mirror out of a Ganon?
Oh no, sorry, not for Kyon, but I was watching Nep's side when she was quick swapping over the fire rod and she passed by the mirror and she stayed there a little bit longer.
So Ganon's hint was that our silver arrows were in pod, and to be more specific, they were in the dark maze. So that's where our silver arrows were at, but Furaime doesn't need those, so.
Yeah, that's actually somewhat interesting because both runners were in pod pretty early, but maybe the pod small keys were not quite like along the path, right? So
yeah,
maybe just like wasn't worth it, for them to pick up.
Yeah, and right there, down goes Ganon there on Furaime's side. So now he just needs to make his way across the 1x3 bridge. And let's see here. He goes through with an official time. Holy cow, this is the fastest one I've seen in 55 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah, that is a ridiculously fast time. I mean, we talk about, sub 1 hour, we're almost at, sub 55 at this point. That's so fast, even for Spoiler Lock Seed.
Wow.
Yeah, get your GGs on chat for Team Komodo Hypers here for Kyon the pilot and Furaime the runner.
Yeah, definitely throw your GGs in there for that race. And with that victory right there, that now puts, I believe, like a 3 or 4-way tie now for first place in this division. Holy cow.
Yeah, certainly.
Man. And right now here, SailorNep she's now taking on our favorite math test here with Agate 2. And missing out on that second one there. So I believe that's 4 total hits. There's 5. Oh, missed the double on that one. Just barely missed it. But this is a good setup right here. Yep, there's hit number 6. And now she's on to take on Ganon with that gold sword. So not going to take really a whole long time here before her. So we're going to have 2 possibly sub-hour times here in this race.
Yeah, and for the most part, these racers were really just neck and neck, right? They were, very, very close, right? Just like a boss kill away, couple screen transitions away, Death Mountain climb away. I mean, nothing was insurmountable. But it kind of just seemed like, definitely at the end was kind of what did, in this case, the Titans miss in was just on that fortunate soft lock and Heraclot.
Yeah, I mean, that was exactly it. That was the biggest difference here in this game. I mean, as you said, they were neck and neck, and unfortunately having to save and quit because of that soft block. Wow. And just like that, now SailorNep finishes her 2 phases. Needs to be careful down to 1 heart here, but she's through the 2 hardest phases here. And just like before, Ganon playing hide and go seek. There's the first hit of his little temper tantrum that he's going through. There's hit number 2.
Yeah, even though we saw Ganon teleporting all over the place on Furaime's side, at least he's going to do the exact same for Nep. So everything is nice and fair.
And she picks up the torch glitch here, so there's number 1. Doing a great job picking up the triple. If my math is right, that was number 6.
Nep only has 1 heart. Certainly I don't foresee too much of an issue on phase 4, but you don't really know sometimes when these fire bats can come out. I mean, there have been some pretty close ones.
I would say she's doing some sword sliders here, so I'm kind of curious if she's getting any hits on him or not. It'd be kind of nice if we had audio to be able to tell if she's getting it. I mean, I know you can hit Ganon here on some sword slide, but the window is a lot tighter.
It looks like she had at least 2.
I'll say she doesn't really have a whole lot left. I think she's got about 2 or 3 hits left here. I say she needs to be careful here. She's kind of running out of her magic. Oh, and there goes Ganon. And just a little more than an hour. So throw your GGs there into chat.
Yeah, it's teasing us here to make sure that she still crosses that 1x3 bridge safely.
Yes, please do that, please. And there she goes. She crosses the 1x3 bridge in a final time of 1 hour and 17 seconds. Throw your chats there into chat for GGs for SailorNep. And if I remember right, it looks like we have Keong here with us right now in the booth. So GG's Keong.
GG's Keong. Master pilot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was alright. I did make my 1 mistake that I usually do.
Yeah, so I am curious. Even though I promised I wouldn't drill you, I'll just ask you nicely. What was your rationale for getting the book out of Skullwoods?
Basically, because of the order, I checked things in the log. I saw that there were 2 pod small keys in the desert area, and I was like, okay, that's good to know. And then I looked at pod and just saw that like meat and bow were there. I didn't really look too closely, but I was like, okay, we need to go to pod early-ish, so we're probably gonna need some keys. And then I was like, well, the flute is all the way up there. Maybe we don't need the flute. I didn't actually know at that time yet. So I was like, maybe we should just get the book here, because just in case we need to, after swamp, to do the desert area before going to pod. So by that point, I didn't actually know we didn't need any keys to pod at all. Which was definitely a bit surprising. So that's why I made Furaime get the book.
Yeah, otherwise, very clean running from you, Kyung. You were even so kind to your runner to pick up so much safety in the seed. Red mail, 8 hearts?
Yes, yeah. I mean, there were a couple sketchy sections. Doing Ice Palace early is always a little bit scary and stuff, but it wasn't too bad on safeties overall. Just like Powder was pretty much inaccessible.
Yeah, it also looks like we now have Furaime and Eddie out here in the booth. GG, gentlemen.
GG's.
Jeez.
So any thoughts here on this seed so far? I mean, we already just heard Keong's thoughts here on getting the book here, so.
It was definitely, like Keong was saying, it was surprising we didn't need any pod keys. I saw that there was nothing in desert, so we didn't need the book. So I wasn't too worried about that. But one mistake we did make is we after Village of Outcasts, we were going to go over to Catfish and get the Eastern Big. But on the way there, we realized we didn't have money for pod, and we started doing a Houlihan, and then kind of forgot about the Eastern Big, so we had to run back for that. So that cost a little time. And then obviously our big time loss was that Hera soft block. So that's just unfortunate. Other than that, it was a relatively good seed. There was a couple double dips, but I've had more complicated seeds before, so this one wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that was kind of the biggest difference in this race. Was that an unfortunate soft block there at Tower Hera? So,
yeah, like we were, I could see we were maybe like a minute or so behind before that, so we still had maybe some hope. But yeah, after that soft block, it was pretty much GG.
Yeah, so we got game 2 coming up for you guys tomorrow night. It looks like it is going to be Dainty versus Chex Human. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And who's going to be the pilots?
I am.
Same ones.
Okay, so tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Don't think there's been a channel yet picked out for this for game 2, so definitely very interesting now. Looking at the standing between your guys' two teams, here we are in the middle of week 4, and we have ourselves a 3-way tie in the division between between both these two teams and Pug Trio. Any thoughts on that?
This is a really tough division, like arguably the toughest in the league. And I didn't expect we were going to start 5-0. So that was a big surprise. And losing a couple games, okay, but hopefully we can at least split this week.
Yeah, this is definitely very critical, we could say. So pretty happy with our results so far for sure.
Yeah, and Furaime improves his individual record now. He's now 4-0 here in this league. He's won each of the weeks, won that co-op and with Keong in week 1, defeats Adirondack Rick in week 2, beats Jägermouth in week 3, and here it is, now week 4, he's undefeated. That's very impressive, Furaime.
He didn't take the bait.
He did not. Unless maybe we've lost his audio, maybe? I'm hoping. Oh, no, actually, he's in chat. So, he chokes in the playoffs? Question mark?
No. Furaime, I think he's just being modest.
No, it's not completely wrong, I suppose, but yeah. In the previous seasons, there were some issues on the playoffs for sure, but yeah.
Certainly best of luck to both your teams, and looks like same pilots, different runners. Any different, I guess, approaches or strategies, or is that not allowed for the opposing team to hear?
Considering they can just watch what we do, I don't think it matters too much.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we're gonna. Until we had that mishap in Hera, we weren't that far apart, maybe like a minute. So I don't think we need to make any major changes.
I think by the time you guys attempted Hera, you're probably just like one Death Mountain climb and like some very minor change at that point. So yeah, probably like a minute-ish. Yeah,
right before I joined this interview, SailorNep told me to say something on her behalf, but I've already forgotten what it was, so I apologize. Nep.
Snap, if you're in chat listening somewhere, hopefully you can send a message.
Yeah, so here we are. We're at the end of game 1 here for these two runners here and these two teams. But if you look at the schedule, go to ALTTPRleague.com. This weekend is gonna be loaded with races. I believe that just in the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there's going to be over 20 matches just here in the Invitational League. You want to go a little bit farther, there's even more. So this weekend, you're definitely going to have your fill of randomizer, especially here at week number 4, spoiler log, key sanity. And next week, I think it seems to be everybody's favorite week here is going to be next week with Mystery Seed. Any thoughts on that, gentlemen?
I'm not playing Mystery Week. It's going to be Dante and Nep. I mean, they've both done like the PogChamp tournament, so they know quite a bit about Mystery.
Yeah.
So I have faith in them.
Yeah, actually, yeah, for Kyung and Komodo Hypers here, haven't all three of you done PogChamp Mystery? So who are sent as your representatives, or is that still TBD?
I think it's me and Chex. I'm gonna be playing every week from now to meet the quota of number of games. And
Oh, okay.
Chex really wanted to play Mystery because of the slight odds of getting entrance. So
Nice. Yeah, best of luck to both your teams, especially for tomorrow. When you guys are facing off and the coming weeks ahead. You won't face each other in Mystery, but still, certainly, best of luck to you guys.
Thanks for the commentary. Thanks to the trackers.
Yeah, you definitely want to give a shout out to all of our runners again here, SailorNep and Furaime. GG's to both of them. I know I want to say thank you to my co-com Clearmouse. I want to thank the tracker Duodeca. Thank our restreamer. Oh my gosh, it just slipped my mind of who our restreamer is.
Relkin?
Yeah, Relkin. Yeah, oh man, Relkin, don't get mad at me. Give that guy a big congratulations as well. If he didn't get a see, he did win the SG Live tournament over the weekend. Amazing race. So not to take away from what you guys did. So yeah, GG's, and I'm gonna let Clearmouse take us home.
Yeah, again, Nep, Edium, Kyung, and Furaime, thank you so much for putting on such an excellent race. You guys played well, and certainly best of luck to you guys, your teams tomorrow when you guys face off each other. And thank you, SpeedGaming, for letting us restream this. Thank you, Bandit, for being my co-com tonight. Thanks, Duo, for tracking. Doing all the hard work behind the scenes. And yeah, as Bandman said, there is a ton of rando tomorrow, including these guys, and certainly a ton more during the weekend. So if you need your rando fix, certainly keep an eye on the schedule for for your favorite scenes. Until then, have a great night, everyone.